Chances are, if you've been to a big concert anytime in the last 10 years or so, you've been in Live Nation's world, even if you didn't know it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this unseen giant, the company that basically runs the global live music industry and, yeah, has a big say in what you pay for a ticket.
You know that feeling, right? You're so excited to get tickets, you see the price, you click next, and then, bam, all those fees get tacked on and the final price is just shocking. It's a feeling every single music fan knows way too well.
So why does it have to be like this? Well, the answer, it's complicated. But it all leads back to the incredibly powerful and, yeah, pretty controversial business of one company. In this explainer, we're using analysis from the investment research firm Morningstar to really break down how this whole empire is built.
Okay, to get a sense of just how huge these guys are, think about this number, 150 million. That's how many fans Live Nation expects to see at its events in just 1 year. To put that in perspective, that's like the entire population of Russia attending a show. We're not just talking about a big company here. This is a full-blown global phenomenon.
So, how on earth does one company get that dominant? Well, it's because Live Nation isn't really one company. It's more like a three-headed giant. First, they're the concert promoter, signing the artist. Second, they're the venue operator, owning the places the artists play. And third, the part we're all painfully familiar with, they're the ticket seller, through their company Ticketmaster. And the genius of it, or the problem, depending on how you look at it, is that each part is built to make the others stronger.
Right, so let's look at the blueprint for this machine. It's a three-part empire where every single piece is designed to feed the next, creating this incredibly powerful closed system.
Okay, so check out how this works. Step 1, Live Nation, with all its power, signs the biggest artists in the world. Step 2, it puts those artists in venues that it owns. And Step 3, it makes you, the fan, buy your tickets through the platform it also owns, Ticketmaster. See, it's a perfect closed loop. They capture a piece of the pie at every single stage. This whole setup creates something that business analysts get really excited about. They call it a flywheel. And here's the crazy part. The concerts themselves, the main event, they're actually not that profitable. But that's the secret. They don't need to be. The whole point of the concert is just to get millions of us through the doors of their venues and onto their ticketing site, because that's where the real money is hiding. And that flywheel, that self-feeding system, it builds what Wall Street types call an economic moat. Think of it like a literal castle moat, a huge barrier that makes it almost impossible for anyone else to even think about competing.
So what exactly is an economic moat? It's not just about being the biggest. It's about building a fortress around your business that is so strong, so impenetrable, that competitors just can't get in. It's how a company locks in profits for the long haul. And for Live Nation, that fortress is built on one simple, powerful thing, just sheer, unbelievable scale.
Let's break down how that scale really works. Okay, imagine you're a huge artist planning a massive world tour. Option A, you could try to piece it together yourself, making deals with dozens of different little promoters in every country. Or, option B, you make one call, just one, to Live Nation. They're a one-stop shop. They can offer you way more guaranteed money up front, and they can spread the risk of the tour across the entire globe. No small-time promoter can even come close to competing with that.
But wait a minute, here's the big twist in the story. If Live Nation is giving artists these super generous deals, where are its own massive profits coming from? It's time to follow the money.
Okay, you're going to want to hear this because it's the secret to their entire business. Get this, concert promotions make up more than 80% of Live Nation's revenue, but their actual profit margin on those concerts, a tiny 5.6%. Let that sink in. The very thing they are famous for, promoting concerts, they barely make any money on it. So, that leads to the billion-dollar question, right? If the concerts aren't the real cash cow, where's all the money actually coming from? The answer? It's pretty much everything else. The real money isn't in the ticket itself. It's in everything they can sell you once you're inside their venue. We're talking about that $20 parking spot, the $15 beer, the $50 t-shirt, those fancy premium seat upgrades. The concert is just the lure. All this other stuff, with its super high profit margins, that's the real catch.
And the absolute king of all these revenue streams? Sponsorships and advertising. I mean, just look at this number. This part of the business has an incredible 70% profit margin. 70! Compare that to the less than 6% they get from the actual concert. It's not even in the same universe.
And this, right here, is the absolute key to the whole empire. The Morningstar report calls this sponsorship money a direct byproduct of the concerts. It makes perfect sense, right? If you don't have millions of fans showing up for the artists, you have nothing for sponsors to advertise to. And this one single piece of the puzzle, this high-margin sponsorship business, makes up a third of the company's entire profit.
Okay, so they've built this incredible fortress, but it's not as impenetrable as it looks. The company's sheer dominance has brought a ton of heat down on them, and right now they're facing some of the biggest fights in their entire history.
The analyst report points to 3 major storm clouds on the horizon. First, and this is the big one, a massive antitrust lawsuit from the U.S. Department of Justice. Second, there's always the risk of a recession, because when times get tough, expensive concert tickets are one of the first things people cut. And third, the artists themselves still have a lot of power, and they keep demanding bigger and bigger paydays.
But let's be clear, the biggest threat here, by far, is that lawsuit from the Department of Justice. The government is trying to do something huge, force Live Nation to sell off Ticketmaster. And as the analyst puts it, pretty bluntly, if that happens, the collective business will suffer. I mean, breaking up that flywheel would just fundamentally cripple the whole business model. So you've got this super powerful business model on one side and these massive risks on the other. What's the final verdict from the analyst's point of view?
All right, so here's the bottom line from the analyst. They give the company what's called a narrow economic moat. Basically, that means the fortress is strong, but it's not indestructible. And because of that, it gets a high uncertainty rating, which is almost all because of that huge legal battle we just talked about.
And all that uncertainty, it has a real impact on the stock's value. See, the analyst crunched the numbers and figured a fair price for a share of Live Nation stock should be around $135. But at the time of the report, the market price was over $150. So the conclusion was pretty simple. Investors weren't fully appreciating the risks, which made the stock officially overvalued. Which brings us to one final, really interesting question. Live Nation has built this powerful, massively profitable empire that pretty much controls the live music experience for millions of us. But now, with the government literally knocking on its door, you have to wonder, is that empire really too big to fail?